Hello from Glens Falls, New York. We're at the Civic Center for the Big Home Show. Hi, I'm Raleigh Merrill from Merrill Marketing. And the show that we're at this morning, it's very typical. Not the biggest one you might come across, but a lot like shows you'd see all across America. Home shows, boat shows, car shows, business shows, any kind of trade show where we have businesses setting up displays, talking to people, and generating leads to generate sales and profits. So now, if you've exhibited recently at one of these kinds of trade shows, or if you're planning on doing one soon, I have some important questions I want you to think about. Do you really expect to close everybody you talk to at a show like this? Certainly not. That's not reality, obviously. So if you don't close everybody you talk to at a trade show, well, what is your planned procedure for following up on everybody you talk to at a home show or a trade show like this? Now, if you're like most exhibitors, you really don't have an officially mapped out plan to follow up on the leads that you get from a show like this. You know, when leads are so expensive to generate, how can you let any of them fall through the cracks? That's not the way to go about doing good business at a show like this. Think about the expenses you have, not just the booth rental. You have overtime possibly for your staff. We're going to be working longer hours. You have the disruption of your staff getting ready to put the display out for the show. You have the expense of the display itself, the staging for your booth, not to mention the collaterals like brochures and giveaways that you may have. Every lead that you generate has a real expense to it. So you want to maximize every opportunity you have. You don't want to throw them away, but all too often that's exactly what happens. Okay, we've come back to my office to get out of the commotion of the home show. And actually, it's been about 2 weeks since we were there taping at the home show. And the reason I took the time to put a little lag in is there's a point to this. I went around to a number of these trade show booths and I gave out my contact information, not as a business person, but as a homeowner, somebody who was interested in services that were being offered by the many exhibitors at the particular home show I was at a few weeks back. Now, I did this as kind of a test, just to kind of see how some of these businesses handled their follow-ups to leads at a trade show like that. And I must say, there weren't a lot of surprises. Got a lot of phone calls that first week. Hey, and I didn't take the calls. I just let my answering machine take the messages. Hey, we met you at the home show recently, and we wanted to follow up on the things you were interested in. As part of my test, as much as I might be interested in their products or services, as part of my test, I just let those calls go. Didn't respond in any way. Waited a little bit longer. This is now going on 3 weeks since that show, and only 2 of the many exhibitors that I gave my contact information to have followed up a second time. And again, kind of weak stuff. Hey, give us a call. We met you at the show. Maybe you're interested still. That's the kind of stuff I was hearing. That is weak follow-up to the expense that you have going into a trade show. Come on, think about what you've got into these shows and don't let these things slide. You have to keep pounding and pounding and pounding. And I mean not exerting pain onto your prospects, but you got to be there. Let's say drip on them. Let's continually communicate with them. And a way to do that is with the Sales Pro Activator system. You set up a system so the first time if they don't respond or they don't quite buy from you the way you want them to buy, you continue to drip on them. Especially at a trade show, you're kind of window shopping when you go to a trade show, aren't you? Sure. Well, think about it from the customer's perspective, and then think about how eventually they probably will be in a position to buy from somebody. Wouldn't you like to be the go-to business? You can position yourself with the Sales Pro Activator system because you will regularly drip on them with letters and emails, continually marketing to these prospects about why it's a good idea to do business with you. And eventually, you reel them in because they will buy from somebody eventually. Stanford University has a study out that says that within 18 months, over 80% of the people who are asking about a particular product or service from you will buy from somebody. Why not make sure it's you more often than not? The Sales Pro Activator system will help you do that. You can learn more about it just by clicking right down below here on the Sales Pro Activator demo. If you're looking at this on YouTube and you don't see that button right there, go to StrongerSalesNow.com. That's www.StrongerSalesNow.com. I'm Raleigh Merrill, and I look forward to speaking with you directly sometime soon. so we can follow up on you and make you a customer of the Sales Pro Activator.